Hey guys, welcome back to math class. Today we are looking at angle relationships and what that means. A lot of this is going to feel like review and it's probably going to seem a little bit easy. A lot of this is definition based, so get ready to write these down. The first one we're going to talk about is complementary versus supplementary. So we have complementary angles. We'll just leave it at that. Complementary. Complementary are a pair of angles that add up to 90 degrees. Pair, which is two. Pair of angles that add up to 90 degrees. So complementary, two angles that add up to 90 degrees. The other one is supplementary. Supplementary. Supplementary are a pair of angles that add up to 180. 180 degrees. There's a trick that we use to remember complementary versus supplementary. If you draw a C for complementary and you draw an S for supplementary, okay, now I'm going to take a different color. If we put a dotted line here and draw a dotted zero, complementary means 90 degrees. Supplementary, if we put a dotted line here and dotted line there and dotted zero. So an S is curvy like an 8 and a C has that stopping point like a 9. So complementary, 90 degrees, supplementary, 180 degrees. All right, let's look at that in practice. Chances are most of the test questions are not going to say, hey, are these two angles complementary? What they're going to do is they're going to say, all right, here a straight line is 180 degrees. So here's two angles. This one is 50. These two angles are supplementary because this equals 180 degrees. 180. What is the missing angle? So if two angles add up to 180 and this piece is missing, how much is this piece? That missing piece is 130 degrees because 180 minus 50 is 130. Same idea with complementary. You have to have, well, I don't want to say you have to, but in this case, we have a 90 degree angle. And I'm going to draw a line through that angle to cut it. It is not cut in half. Unless it tells you that it's cut in half, do not assume that it's cut in half. I'm going to say this angle is 30. How much do complementary angles add up to? What is the total here? This has to equal 90 because it's complementary. This was 180. This one's 90. If this piece is 30, how much is this piece? From here to here is 30. How much is from there to there? 60. Because 90 minus 30 is 60. Okay, so complementary, supplementary. You may also see algebraic expressions with x's represented. Remember that x's go with other x's. So 2x plus 1x is 3x. All right, the other types of angles we're going to look at are, here's where there's lots of vocab. So I'm going to draw an X on the paper. And I am going to label this A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, and E. E is going to be the middle one. All right. Now, when I talk about angles, I follow the line. So if I wanted to talk about angle BEC, I would start at B, follow it to E, and then go to C. I can also name this angle CEB, but I cannot call it BCE because there is no line between B and C. All right, an adjacent angle. Adjacent angle. Adjacent angles. Adjacent angles mean they are right next door to each other. They share a wall, they share a side. So next door, they share a side. So like if you're in one room and there's a room on the other side of the wall and you can like knock on the wall and you can knock back and forth, then those two rooms are adjacent because they're next to each other. So if I'm talking about BEC, 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 the adjacent angles for BEC are CED and BEA because they share this line right here. And they share this line over here. So these two are adjacent angles, and these two are adjacent angles. If I gave you angle CED is adjacent to what other angle? CED can be adjacent to DEA or CEB because they would share those sides. The other relationship we're looking at is vertical angles. Vertical angles. Vertical angles are not next door. They're across from each other. So this angle here and this angle here are vertical angles because they are across from each other. They are two intersecting lines. They are equal and they're opposite of each other. Like a mirror. Like it's flipped over, so like this one flips over to here. So they're equal and they're opposite. What are two other angles in this scenario that are also vertical angles? BEC. So I'm going to put two swoops in BEC is vertical to AED. So these two angles are vertical, or also they are equal. Another thing to keep in mind as we work through this is that remember that in 6th grade, y'all talked about how all triangles equal 180 degrees. All triangles, every triangle, believe it or not, all triangles, the interior angles, which are these pieces in here, equal 180 degrees. So the interior angles of a triangle have to equal 180 degrees. You may have to solve for a missing angle. So if this is x, 2x, and I don't know, x again, sure, just because I know this will work out. So you would have x plus 2x equals 180. X plus 2x is how many x's? This is 4 x's, and that equals 180. How do you solve this equation right here? We're going to divide by 4. And this comes out to 4 goes into 18 4 times, and then 5. Okay, so 1x is 45. So this angle here is 45. This angle here is 45. But this angle here is 2x. So you would do 2 times 45, which is 90. So this angle would be 90. Obviously, my picture is not drawn to scale, but that's okay. All right, go practice. I will see you guys next time. Good luck. Later.